Okay, so I spent a little more time emphasizing some more shadow areas. Sometimes you'll see if something sticks out really funny. So I want to notate some of these lighter areas on the bottom of this leg that you'll see. So sometimes we can highlight certain areas, and sometimes we do have to sort of let the reflected light be enough. So you're going to have an urge to place a lot of white highlights probably in areas that are technically on shadow sides. You want to avoid that when we get to the light pencil. You want to let that reflected light sort of do its job, you know, where it's going to designate some of that on its own. So what I'm going to do right now is kind of go up here with the face just a little bit, because I kind of want you guys to see how we can indicate facial features. We don't have to go into extreme detail. So a lot of this is going to depend on where the light and shadow falls. So I'm going to try to do this as not shaky as possible. But for example, you're going to look at areas on the face, and I usually start alongside the nose because especially in a shadowy image like this, that's going to give us a good shadow to focus on, right? So first, I'm just kind of shading in the darkest areas, right? I'm not too worried about much else. I know there's a dark area that comes and wraps around her nose at the bottom. I'm going to skip a spot. So what happens with the light, with the lips, is that there's areas that the light hits, and then there's the areas that cast more shadow. So you're really just trying to start to hint at all of this with the pencil. So see how I'm not really adding a lot of detail? I'm going to skip down below it and really darken the chin, which is under one of those lips. Okay, now on the other side, we have another little area that's sort of shadowed because it's caught kind of under the brow ridge. And we're just gonna bring in that shadow enough to showcase that form. Okay, so when I stand back right now, we get the hint of a face, right? We have an indication there. She's got some shadow over here in her ear. And then we also want to pay attention to where the shadow drops in from her hair, because remember, that's also going to be a form that's indicated by light and shadow. Okay, this will get even better when we can bring in our light colors. There's a little shadow right there. Okay, so this is also if you get some areas you think you need to fix a little bit, like maybe it starts looking like her lip is super long or something doesn't look right, you can come in and just erase some of those little areas back in. And now when we bring in the white pencil, we'll get to hit a few highlights and really push that feeling. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go ahead and clean up some of these edges a little bit where it's a lighter side. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my light pencil, okay? So I will get back on here and we'll talk about adding in highlights.